and I play in a band called Swing Dots, and one of the singers is the mayor of Green Island, New York. Her name is Ellen McNulty Ryan. So I introduced myself to the congressman by mentioning that, and also to one of Ellen's brothers, Jack, and said, yeah, you know, I thought you looked familiar, but, you know, at a contest without the trombone and the white shirt, he wasn't sure. And then I introduced myself in the same way to the congressman's dad, and he said, you know, I have an old ukulele upstairs in the attic. Maybe I'll take it out and join the band. And I think, even though I'm still new to Albany, I can't say no. Rockefeller College continues the legacy of New York Governor Nelson Rockefeller by emphasizing research that matters, focusing on many of the pressing issues of the 21st century, such as education reform, public finance, immigration, environmental policy, and homeland security. Our teaching and research takes us from the local to the global levels. We try to meet the responsibilities of contemporary citizenship and governance through special courses and conferences, research and consultation, and scholarly publications. Rockefeller College continues to be among the leading graduate schools of public affairs in the country. And I'm now honored to ask Ward Stone to join me at the podium. When we at Rockefeller College discussed who we're going to nominate for this award, the chair of the political science department, Tom Church, immediately suggested Ward Stone and said, you know, he told me all about Ward, but he said, you know, he's a controversial character. And I said, in that case, I don't think we need to vote. You know, he gets it from me because that comment sort of appealed to a certain side of me. Ward Byron Stone is the director of the Wildlife Pathology Unit of the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, and he has served as the state's sole wildlife pathologist for the past 39 years. He is responsible for diagnosing, monitoring, and researching the causes of sickness and death in the state's wildlife and conducting field and site investigations on the impact of pesticides, pollutants, and hazardous materials on wildlife. Prior to serving in this role, he received 2 honorable discharges from the United States Coast Guard and United States Navy, where he served as a Navy corpsman. By the way, when I read that a couple of times, I wanted to make sure it was accurate, and I asked Ward just before the event today checking to see if it was accurate. He said, absolutely, it's not a common event. As one of the nation's leading wildlife pathologists, he has provided depositions and expert testimony in numerous local, state, and federal court cases, and has also addressed the United Nations on 2 separate occasions. Many of you have heard him on the radio program In Our Backyard on WAMC 90.3 FM. Dr. Stone's dedication to wildlife and the environment is evidenced by his reputation as a leading advocate and activist for many important environmental issues throughout his career. This commitment, coupled with his willingness to push forward against conflicting corporate and government interests, has garnered him the support and admiration of many in the media, community organizations, and the general public. He has been recognized with dozens of awards and honors throughout his career and continues to be a champion for important environmental issues. Mr. Ward Stone, on behalf of the University at Albany, in recognition of your outstanding accomplishments, I hereby bestow on you our Distinguished Service Award today.
Thank you. It's somewhat ironic that Congressman McNulty and I both have 39 years in government right now. Before that, I was in the military, besides graduate school, and I owe a lot to the military. The United States Navy taught me a lot. And we don't want to forget that those in the military serving today did so because they volunteered. They do a great job, And we may need to bring most of them home, but there are two wars. One where bin Laden was, and that's a separate kind of an issue, and we're always going to need, unfortunately, the military. But we do need to be much more cooperative around the world, because we are facing some bigger wars than Iraq and Afghanistan. And that is the war that we humans wage against the earth itself, the place that we are dependent upon. And we are after it, there's no doubt about it. And one of the traits that humans have, which is greed, is one of the biggest factors that leads us in that direction. Global warming is upon us. The bats are not dying from an exotic fungus. They're dying because of the changes in the weather, in the climate, which is changing cave ecology and the quantity of insect food available. And that's going to keep varying, and it's going to get to us in many ways. I discovered West Nile virus with some others. I certainly independently discovered it. That comes along with warm weather and the introduction of exotic species. And of course, with the global economy, we are going to bring in more problems. With my daughter Montana, we pointed out that there were lots of lead pieces available to children in this country. Montana is a blend of ballet, beauty, and brains. My 11-year-old daughter. And that was really important. I'd like to mention my other children, Jonathan, who was in 9th grade in Bethlehem, playing lacrosse. Wonderful, wonderful boy. Certainly Jeremiah, the next oldest boy, who would rather go fishing and look in nature than anything else that is out there. He is very motivated to go into environmental work. I think all my children are. Ethan Allen, who is into butterflies. He is into guinea pigs right now, 10 years old, and NFL football. He is a huge boy who is very good at sports, as all my children are. My stepson, Thomas, is here today. Thomas is a senior at SUNY Albany. He'll be graduating here in just another month or so. I'm very proud of him. He is a real scholar and a hard worker, and good-hearted boy. I think that another boy is here, back from the Marine Corps. Yeah! And, all right. And that is Ethan Manning, who has been with me since he was a kid and came as an intern. So I'm very proud of what he did in Iraq and his homecoming, and now he's working with a lot of veterans. But folks, the war is just beginning, and that is we've got to do something about the environment. We've got to do something about it all over the world, because we share one globe. And all that CO2 pouring into the air in China and in India is coming our way. We could not control global warming without international cooperation. We need all those things, too, that Congressman McNulty was talking about, like the health insurance. That's another basic factor that we need to get to. But don't forget the environment, the invasive species, the global warming. #1 priority should be doing something about global warming. And we're going to have to deal with it because it is upon us and changing things. Thank you very much, Dean, for the recognition, co-host, and thank you.